away. I took like a speedboat.
Whoa.
It's pretty cool. A speedboat to Aegea. It's an island known for its pistachios. Listen to this. Listen to this. First of all, I get to the port. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be late. I get there at 10 exactly. The boat leaves at 10. So I'm at the port running. Dude, it's 45 degrees. It's 45 degrees and you have this fat white boy just running. I see the boat. I'm like, I'm going to miss my boat. I'm like, dude, I have my backpack, dripping sweat, running. I get there. I'm like, they're like, oh, yes, 40 minutes. I'm like, what?
40 minutes?
They're like, my friend, it's Greece.
40 minutes.
So, yeah, it's supposed to come at 10. It came at 10:40.
Oh.
So I spent 40 minutes waiting for
Just waiting. You're like,
So I didn't know this, but Greeks have, you know, like how in Japan, everyone waits in line, they make a line, everything is proper. Dude, the boat comes like a zoo. Animals running towards the entrance. And you see like the Germans and like the British like they're like, what? And the Greeks like, hello, sorry. And they're like, excuse me. And they're just cutting everyone. Because it's not reserved seating. So first come.
No,
but there's seats for everyone.
Yeah, but they want to get on.
Right
away.
Like, excuse me. And there's just people are cutting. It's like the tourists will start doing a line. And then when the boat came, everyone just and the thing is, you're like, well, I'm not gonna wait in line like a stupid. I'm gonna act like an animal like them. So you start just pushing old ladies, kicking children.
Oh, that's so sad.
Take a baby, you throw him in the water, like it's me, pasticcio, let's go. Just cutting everyone. And I saw this more than once. I'm like, oh, it's a Greek thing.
Yeah.
Greeks don't care.
No. My mom's like that. My mom is like,
no care.
Even in their behavior, if someone like customer service, like you'll like yell at a woman for no reason, you'll like anything, like you're at the grocery store, you'll grab something out of someone's cart.
No, it's me, myself, and I. Dude, it's insane. I took another ferry, and everyone's waiting in line to get out, right? And then I hear, excuse me. It's just a guy and his wife. And he's like, we want to go out. And then Greek people start talking but we're going also waiting to go out. Like I couldn't understand what they were saying, but I could understand what they're like. And the guy just wanted to leave first. So he's like, excuse me, with his head up high. The arrogance. Oh my God. And his wife is like, excuse me. Just cutting. Getting in. Oh, it was insane. Excuse me. His wife is all apologetic. And I could tell Greeks are very expressive. So you could tell by their eyes, like, look, what is this? Like, even for the Greek, this guy was too much.
That's
like, we all wanted to leave. Why you want to leave first?
Why do you want to leave
insane. Insane.
I like that. Excuse me.
With his head up high.
Excuse
me. Arrogance.
Oh, that's so funny. That makes me laugh.
First day, I go, I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's escape the hub of Athens. Jump on the speedboat. I sit down finally on the speedboat. A guy sits next to me. He's like, hi. I'm like, hi. We're talking. He's like, how are you? I'm like, I'm good.
That's so nice. A guy going like, hi.
Yeah, that's literally so nice. Hi. He's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going there. And I explained to him the situation. Like, that's hilarious. Then, sometimes you meet people. When you travel alone, sometimes you attract weirdos.
Yeah, okay.
The guy is like, there's a lot of nudist beaches in that island. You know that, right? I'm like, listen, I just, I'm not, it's. I go to the beach once every 10 years, but thanks for the information. He's like, okay, take notes. First of all, take my number. That's for sure.
Take my number.
Let's start with this. You have to take my number.
Why? Why do I need your number? That's so weird.
He's like, you have to take my number. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to this blue beach.
I'm only here for the day, my friend. I'm only here for 2 hours.
But because we're going back to Athens. And he's like, oh, you're not? Oh, you don't want? Okay, well, I know a nudist beach in Athens. And if you want this one, you could also have sex on the beach. I'm like,
no, that's what he's...
I'm barely comfortable wearing, regular
shorts.
Regular shorts. I don't even wear shorts. So I went to go to it. And he's like, but do you trim? I'm like, yeah, I trim. He's like, it's good to trim. It looks bigger.
What
I'm like,
the hell?
Dennis, I'm a 40-year-old man. I know how to make my penis look bigger.
Oh my God.
He's like, do you go to swing clubs? I'm like, No, he's like, Athens has great swinging clubs, swinger clubs. I'm like, I'm all alone. He's like, they'll let you in. Don't worry. I'm like, I'm not planning. I'm like, I'm not. It's not really
Oh my
my
god.
thing.
And he's Greek?
He is Greek American.
Ah, okay.
So
See, I
he-
told you they
yeah.
come
They
come
come-
home to be gay.
They come home to do
To do
And-
debaucherous
and then he's telling me like, yeah, every time I come here, there's a girl from Moldova. I mean, she's an escort, but like I hire her and we spend like 2 weeks together, and then we go to these swinger clubs. By the way, never met the guy. 10 minutes in, he's like, this
Wow.
just. You're like, yeah, it's nice, We also, in America, we knew a guy who knew a lot of international students, so he would hook us up with girls who would like $25. I'm like, okay.
What the hell?
I'm like, just telling me every naughty, disgusting sex things. He's like, be careful about the strip clubs. They'll try to take your money. I'm like, I come from Montreal. We have the best strip clubs in the world. He's like, yes, it's true. He's like, you should go to a swing club in Montreal. I'm like, I'm not gonna go.
Oh my
To us,
god. That's
just
funny.
telling him about the debauch. Like, I love anal sex, so I don't mind, if it's a transsexual. I'm like,
Oh my god.
then he's like, he's like, I don't like Athens. There's something I don't like. There's a lot of Indian people there. A lot of brown people. They look dirty.
Oh
he's
my
like, he's like, I'll
God.
still, but I'll wear a condom. I'm like,
No.
okay.
This is the most. This man's a lunatic.
Unhinged. Because here's the thing. I welcome.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. I'm taking notes.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
said,
yeah.
Look at my phone. I'm like, all right, anal sex. Go to this place. Sex. He's like, he told me, he's like, if you go to this beach, he's like, go the one where you have to pay, because the free ones, there's a lot of brown people. I'm like, okay. Because I didn't tell him I was an Arab, for sure.
Oh.
No, let him think I'm white.
From like Albania or
Exactly.
something.
No, I'm Canadian.
Yeah.
I'm traveling alone. I'm a 40-year-old man. I understand from his point of view that I could be a sexual predator. I get it. I get it. He saw a bald 40-year-old man
He saw a
traveling
colleague.
alone.
he's like, there's my coworker
Yes,
right
exactly.
there.
That's a guy. Like, it makes sense to see. If you see a guy traveling alone in his 40s, like, he's a sexual tourist.
This guy's a
For sure, that's he's here.
And he's disappointed. You have nothing to, no notes to compare with
Yeah,
him.
exactly. He's like, what, you don't recommend any places
What
where I
did you-
can
what
fuck
have you noticed?
transsexuals? He's like, be careful, go to Thailand. I'm like, I wasn't planning on going to Thailand, Dennis. And I was like, I'm making jokes like this about him. Like, Dennis, he's like, I'm like, I'm worried I'm going to, like, he's like, you should go to, like, discover yourself. Go to a naked beach. I'm like, I don't want to burn my penis. He's like, you can put sunscreen on your penis and your balls. Looks nice, gives a little tan. I'm like, thanks, Dennis. Awkward. I'm like, but what are you doing in that island? He's like, I came with my mom. We're going to visit a monastery. I'm like, he's like, yeah. And then he points to his mom.
Oh
His
no!
80-year-old mom. He's like,
She's
yes.
there.
He's like, are you religious? I'm like, not really. I guess you are, Dennis. After you transsexuals in Thailand.
Greek parents who travel back to Greece, they're like, they don't want to. They're almost like Lebanese people, right? They don't want to have fun. They're like, if you have fun, you're going to hell, right?
Yeah, I
so
guess.
visit a monastery.
Yeah.
And that's their idea of doing something nice in Greece.
I get it, though.
They-
I get
they-
it. It's
they just
nice.
don't
Because the monastery is on an island, and you get to the island, and you
Yeah.
get off the port, and then, it's beautiful. You see, like, the tiny houses, and the sound of the water, and the little ice cream shop. Like, the island I went to is known for its pistachios. So I ate, like, so many, like, delicious little pistachio
Nice.
things. So cool. I'm like, okay, I'm on an island in Greece. I'm going to eat seafood. So I find a restaurant.
Nice.
Dude, I swear. You had the beach, 20 meters. You had like the sea, what do you call it? The sea market, fish market.
Mhm.
So I'm literally sitting next to the fish market,
Yeah.
eating a fish and octopus.
Wow, nice.
Oh, it's just fresh and just the right texture in my mouth. Little cats running around. I'm like, this felt like a dream.
Mhm.
Just so fun. I'm like, I wonder if this tiny island, because it's not a big island, I wonder if it has a shisha place. I found a shisha place. Cost 20 euros for the shisha. It's the most expensive shisha I paid for in Greece.
Yeah.
Smoked a shisha by the water. So fun. Had my Fanta.
Yeah.
Bought some
Fanta.
pistachios
Oh,
for my mom and dad.
Nice. And then you go back.
I went to the beach. That's the only time I went to the beach.
Oh, at that beach.
That beach, yeah.
How was it?
It was great.
Yeah.
I sat next to a little umbrella. Had a beer. Had a Coke Zero. Just staring in the water. Jumping
Yeah.
in the hot Mediterranean water.
Dennis was next to you.
Hmm?
Dennis was next to you.
Then it's like, hi. No, dude, the second the boat landed, I sprinted because he had to wait for his mom.
Oh.
He's in his 50s, so his mom, I'm assuming she was
Yeah,
in her
she's
70s, 80s. So I'm like, I'm not hanging out with this sexual predator. I'm getting, because he's like,
Wow.
come to the monastery with us. He's a
Come
big.
to the monastery. He's the most nicest sexual predator.
Oh my god. He's just, I think at a certain age, you're like, I'm just gonna be a sexual tourist. I'm more of a romance tourist. I'll fall in love. I'll
I
date
like-
someone.
yeah. No,
He's a
but
sexual tourist.
And he was a single dude in Greece with his mom.
Apparently, he has a girlfriend, but he's like, but I always wear a condom because out of respect. You know, he has a girlfriend back in America. But he's like, out of respect, I'm gonna use a condom. Of course, I don't want her to catch anything. It would be rude. It would be rude to cheat on my girlfriend and give her an STD.
This is insane.
Insane guy.
Dennis. Any guy named Dennis. Every guy I know named Dennis is weird.
It's crazy.
Uncle Dennis, that Dennis.
I have his phone number. We can call him. After
Yeah,
this.
we should call him. Hey, Amer, I'm naked right now.
It's just, and it's funny how he opens up the subject. Like first, it's like, there's nudist beaches. He opens with a nudist beach just to see how I react. And I was like, tell me more.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is material. Tell me more. I'm going to talk about it on the podcast. And then it goes to like sex beaches. Then it goes to sex clubs. Then it goes to banging transsexuals in the ass. It's just there's so much
Imagine the
passion.
shit he does that he doesn't tell you.
Oh my god.
It's like that's the shit.
Oh
he's
my
open.
god, the things he must do in Thailand. Oh.
Oh.
He's like, I have a friend. He was in the army. He was stationed in Bangkok or whatever, and he developed a thing for ladyboys.
Okay.
So that's his thing, like ladyboys. And they're like, I like anal sex, so it's great. We got a couple of girls. I fuck her mouth, he fucks her ass. We got another one, we fuck her pussy. It's a fun evening with friends.
It's just insanity.
When you start using a female body as something you consume, like a pistachio ice cream, I think there's a switch in your mind.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think you can come back. I told you I've always wanted to bang a prostitute, but I never did, because it always worries me.
Switch.
Once you start, like when you have a one night stand, it's a transactional thing, right?
Yes. Yeah. It is like objectifying.
Yeah, and it's nothing wrong because you're kind of both doing it to each other.
Mhm.
But when it comes to sex, when just you pay,
Mhm.
and you're like, all right, let me play with your body like it's a PlayStation 5
Mm.
for a couple of hours. I think it does something to your mind. I don't
Yeah.
know if you can come back. And I could tell with him, he's like, oh yeah, but there's nothing wrong because she's getting money
Yeah.
and I'm getting what I want. Anyways, Dennis, shout out to Dennis, guys.
Yeah. See you
America,
in hell, man.
he works. Huh?
See you in hell, Dennis.
See you on the Interpol most wanted criminals